first, Jagersfontein residents who've been affected by the dam wall burst are trying to piece their lives together with whatever they can salvage. Search and rescue teams also continuing to look for 3 people who remain missing. Well, yesterday, Mineral Resources Minister Jaggersfontein visited the area to assess the damage and engage with the community. What exactly did the minister have to say? Let's head over to Manqoba Mchunu, who was there for us for the minister and also the mining company in charge. Manqoba, good morning to you. Before we get to that, what is government's involvement now, knowing they weren't really involved with the mine before?
Well, Gareth, what we do understand at this point is that government intervention is as far as investigations are concerned. Of course, they have deployed teams that are going to be looking into the matter and exactly what led to that dam wall collapse on Sunday. And we do understand that the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy has, dispatched a team of experts that are going to be looking specifically at what led to this collapse. We also know that there will now be a formal inquiry that will take place where witnesses will even be called to testify in that particular inquiry as to what had led to that, because there have been many allegations. One of the allegations, of course, being the fact that there was illegal mining that was taking place at this particular mine, but there are also allegations that, there has been safety concerns that have been raised by many of the community members that we spoke to. So government will be, investigating some of these claims, but we do know that as far as their involvement, the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy saying that, his department could not intervene in this situation because this particular mine was not classified as a mine, as it had been a tailings, processing, facility after the closure of De Beer. So he says that his department's hands were tied as far as his involvement is concerned in the matter. In fact, he said that by just being there yesterday, this was clearly a case of contempt of court if there were some people who are going to challenge that particular factor. But also in terms of aid relief, Gareth, we understand that, in terms of housing of people, in terms of education, government is coming on board to assist social development also on the ground, to provide psychological services to those that have been affected. So there's a lot of activity as far as government is concerned. We do know that there has been, quite an outpouring of support from also humanitarian organizations that are on the ground to try and assist as best as possible on the situation on the ground.
Well, let's take a listen then to also what the mining company itself had to say as well, because I know you had that interview yesterday, and I think many people were surprised to hear just how open the mining company was when it came to accepting responsibility, Manqoba.
Liability.
But, Mr. Morris, how did we get here? Because community members are saying that there were warning signs, they were raising these issues to you, but nothing was done.
Look, community members, with respect, are not engineers. We had our engineering reports done, and all that was done and put in place, and everything was done according to that. So I can show you pictures 4 days before the time of that specific wall that broke. You won't be able to recognize. So how they did, I'm not sure.
There are some who are saying that this might be gross negligence on the part of the mine. What do you say to that?
Well, if that is so, then obviously we'll have to wait for the investigation to be completed and for the necessary steps to be taken. Then if that is so, we must handle it, and the government will obviously, and the departments will act according to that.
And just as I say goodbye to you, Manqoba, so hearing from the mining company there in charge of the entire situation, government now getting involved, what is happening with those whose homes were destroyed? Obviously, they will have their homes rebuilt, but where are they currently? What do we know?
Well, indeed, Gareth, I can tell you that, residents in Jagersfontein are still picking up the pieces, but many of them are, sheltered at, various places here in the Free State. And one of those, places or shelter is this particular hotel where some of them have been housed. And one of them is here just next to me, just to give us a sense of how it is. So, I know that it must be difficult for you as residents of Jaggersfontein, the fact that you now have to, you've lived somewhere else, you've lost your livelihoods. How is it, Siswan?
It was very bad in that day. It was very bad, and even right now, it's a really traumatizing situation. Says I in Jaggersfontein.
And how bad is the situation back at home? Have you been able to go back and see your house? How's the situation?
Most ya matlo a tsamaile metsi, most ya batho ba lositse matlo a bona totally. They don't have anything esetse mo ho bona. So some few houses are still left to go to Charlesville, then le locationing e kukile matlo a mangata haholo le dikoloi tsa batho.
So have you gone back to your house? Are you going to try and perhaps, salvage the little that's left?
For now, I see Siritamona Sunday, so Hariso just to check situation of Nancy.
And what are you hearing, Swam, in terms of where you're going to be accommodated? Is this one of the concerns that you have as residents?
Maobane rile ba bana le meeting le mayor wa kopano o re promisitse hore ba ntse ba sorta dintho out ma go tla nna re fe feedback daily hore na ngontse ho etsalang, but for now we are re bookilwe mona na di hoteleng until Friday.
Now, thank you very much, Siswam, just for giving us a sense of how, things are currently. Well, residents are here, Gareth. I can tell you that there are quite a number of them at different places here, some of them at the farm that we're in yesterday. That's where they've been housed currently. And this is what this wall collapse has done. It has displaced hundreds of people, many of them at this particular point with nowhere to go. So they were saying that they want to see some sort of accountability as far as the mine is concerned. And of course, the mine saying, Gareth, that they will take responsibility. But of course, they're saying, let's give those investigations a chance and see what comes out of them. And then that's when they will take that responsibility, if needs be, full responsibility, if needs be.